How's it going, guys? It's TacTixHD here, bringing you my thoughts on all the new NHL head coaches of 2013. So there are five coaches I'm going to talk about, guys, and basically what I think they can bring to their new teams. So the first coach, guys, is Patrick Waugh, the new head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. Obviously, Colorado needed a change. They finished last in the West this year, haven't made the playoffs for 3 years, I believe, and they just kind of needed a shakeup. I think Patrick Waugh could be a really good choice. Either way, though, I mean, a change was needed, whether or not he ends up being that good of a coach or not. I think, they're in last place in the West. They can't really do much worse. I think Patrick Waugh really has, a fiery attitude, desire to win. I think, that's something the Avs might have been missing. I know J.S. Jagger made some comments about, how they didn't seem to be caring about losing at the end of the year. So I think he'll definitely change the culture in that dressing room. Hopefully he can get the young players reaching their potential. Obviously, he seems to have a bit more of a job than just head coach. He's involved in, drafts. He'll be involved in trades. So, hopefully him and Sakic can turn that franchise around. I definitely think, they need a new coach, and Patrick Waugh, might be the perfect choice. But like I said, either way, a change was needed. The next coach, guys, is Dallas Eakins, going to the Edmonton Oilers. I think this is a perfect fit for the Edmonton Oilers. Dallas Eakins was a great coach for the Toronto Marlies. Obviously, he really made them a good team. They made it to the finals, I think, last year. I think they made the playoffs I think every single year he coached them, I think they made the playoffs. So, obviously, a very good coach. He's used to working with young players. I mean, the Oilers roster is probably not too much older than the Marlies' average age. So, I mean, he's obviously used to working with those young players. He should be able to allow the Hall, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, Yakupov, etc. to continue to grow, reach their potential. And I mean, Oilers have made the playoffs in I think since they made the Stanley Cup final 2007, so 6 years. This year I think was the closest they made it, or maybe the year after they won the cup. But they haven't been very close the last 3 years, and I think he's really going to help out. He's a really good coach. I think he's going to help those young players play even better. Just bring another shake up to that locker room. Obviously, they tried that. I don't think their previous head coach was the right guy, though. I think Dallas Eakins could really be a long-term head coach for them, especially if they make the playoffs this year. And I think with the right additions in the offseason, that can happen. So, really good pickup by the Edmonton Oilers. Third coach, guys, we have Alain Vigneault, who was fired by Vancouver Canucks, and he's going to the New York Rangers. Obviously, John Tortorella was also fired by the Rangers, and that's why they need a new coach. Alain Vigneault, I think, is a really good coach. Kind of think he really didn't deserve to be fired by the Vancouver Canucks. I believe, I may be wrong again, but I believe the Vancouver Canucks made the playoffs every single year he was their head coach. He's the most winningest coach the Vancouver Canucks have ever had. I forget the record, but it was a really, really good regular season record. Obviously, he didn't perform well, or I should say the team didn't perform well while he coached in the playoffs, but I mean, sometimes, that's out of the coach's hands. Obviously, they were looking for a change, and they fired him. Personally, I think the person that should have been fired was Mike Gillis. The way he handled the Luongo Schneider situation, a couple moves he's made, I don't really agree with, and I really think that the GM's more responsible than Alain Vigneault, especially when you look at the playoffs. The coach's job is to get you to the playoffs. He did that, then win the cup. But I mean, at the end of the day, the players have to be held to some responsibility, and the person who chooses the players is Mike Gillis. So I don't know. I personally feel Mike Gillis should have been fired. And anyway, guys, in regards to Vigneault going to New York, I think New York's getting a really good coach. I think New York will make the playoffs next year, and maybe they'll see some success. And I think that's a really good fit. They lost a good coach in Tortorella, gained a good one in Vigneault. Fourth coach, guys, we got Lindy Ruff, fired by Buffalo Sabres for the really poor start they had. He was, I believe, their coach for so long. I think he was the longest serving head coach in the NHL with one team at that time. Obviously, Buffalo felt they needed to change up. They were going younger, and they wanted a new atmosphere in that dressing room. Lindy Ruff's now going to the Dallas Stars. I think that's a really good pickup by the Dallas Stars. They're getting a really classy coach, a really good coach. Obviously, Dallas has kind of been in that middle zone for the last 3 or 4 years, finishing 9th or 10th, which really sucks. You don't get a high pick, you don't make the playoffs, and you're kind of just missing every year. And obviously this year they decided to trade away some assets, get some picks. So they also seem to be going younger. But I think Lindy Ruff can really be a good coach for them. It's a small market team, so it's not like he's going to be under a lot of media pressure, and I think he can really do some good things there. And then finally, guys, we have John Tortorella, who will be officially announced as the Vancouver Canucks head coach tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And I think this is pretty crazy. So basically, New York and Vancouver swapped head coaches, and John Tortorella made the playoffs all 3 years of the Rangers. They won the Eastern Conference last year. I think they made it past the first round of the playoffs every single year he was a coach, so I think that's one of the things Vancouver liked, is the fact that Tortorella won a playoff round every year. He may have lost in the first round his first year coaching, but I believe they made it past the first round of the playoffs all 3 years he coached. And I mean, obviously, like I said, that's something Vancouver's looking for, the playoff success. Obviously, though, he's got to make sure the team continues the regular season success to get there. The only thing I'm concerned about is how Tortorella deals with the Sedins. Obviously, Sedins aren't the biggest two-way players, they're more offensive, so I'm going to see, if he just kind of changes his ways, lets them play how they do, and kind of, kind of like just adapts to the new team, or I'm just interested to see how Tortorella deals with the new team. Also, the Vancouver media, they're even more like I don't know, harsh, I guess you could say, the New York Rangers media. So it's interesting to see how Tortorella deals with that. But it should be a lot of fun to watch. I love watching Tortorella press conferences, so I'm glad he got a job. I was gonna miss out. I thought, actually, I think everyone was gonna miss it if Tortorella wasn't a head coach next year. All his press conferences, we would have missed out. So good to see he got a job. But anyway, guys, in regards to the 5 coaches, like I said, I think honestly all 5 are good fits for their teams. But if I had to pick one best fit, the best move of any team, I'd definitely go with the Edmonton Oilers getting Dallas Eakins. I think that's just a perfect fit for the young team on the rise. Craig Attach seems to be making some really nice moves, especially with players now Dallas Eakins. If they can make the right picks at the draft to make some trades or some signings in the offseason, I think there's going to be a bright future there in Edmonton. Besides that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the new coaches, and have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.